everyone, I'm Nerdy Encounters, and today we're going to be looking into the history of the Natural History Museum. Well, kinda, there's a lot of tea and we're going to spill it. The museum is now one of the UK's biggest tourist attractions, but it was anything but plain sailing to get where it is now. So strap in and prepare to dive into some petty drama. Let's start at the beginning. It's 1756 and Sir Hans Sloane's collection of dried plants and animal and human skeletons are housed in the British Museum. This is the foundation that would become the Natural History Museum, which is great until it wasn't. By the early 19th century, most of Sloane's collection had disappeared. A lot of the specimens were sold and they had periodic cremations in the grounds of the museum. In 1833, the annual report states that of the 5,500 insects in Sloane's collection, none remained.
Hey, Mr. Director, what do you want me to do with this extremely rare thingy?
Ew. Bin it. The departments became pretty notorious for not being able to preserve their specimens, to the point where the Treasury refused to entrust them with specimens bought at the government's expense. But wait, it gets better. During this time, a lot of the jobs are given to people due to favouritism. A prime example of this is in 1862, when a nephew of a trustee was appointed as an entomological assistant, despite not knowing the difference between a moth and a butterfly. Okay, so, what's this? Moth. And this? Bigger moth.
What about this?
Tiny moth. I don't think you're qualified for this. My aunt's rich. Oh my god, why didn't you say you're hired? And then there was the staff drama. John Edward Gray, the keeper of zoology from 1840 to 1874, complained about the staff drama. There was no HR back then. We had George Shaw threatening to stand on shells, you know, the specimens. There was another who removed all the registration numbers and labels from a rival's work. And labels from one collection blew away in the wind. That collection never recovered. Thankfully, a load of these issues were corrected by paleontologist Richard Owen, appointed superintendent of the Natural History Departments in 1856. With his goal being to make the museum an institution for everyone. He was also the man who first coined the word dinosaur. So clearly now everything's gonna be okay. With Richard Owen in charge, there'd be no more drama. But Sir Richard Owen, Darwin says, shut up. So Richard Owen did not like Charles Darwin. In fact, he opposed Darwin's theory of natural selection. Early in his career, Owen also refused to admit that species evolved. His mind was changed later in his career, but through his own work and not Darwin's. But did the drama stop there? No! When Darwin's On the Origins of Species was published, Owen wrote an anonymous article in the Edinburgh Review, criticising Darwin's works and praising his own. Richard Owen is so cute and pretty. He's so much smarter than that icky Charles Darwin.
What are you doing in there, sweetie?
Drugs. Owen also had a long-standing feud with Thomas Henry Huxley, Darwin's most outspoken ally, to the point that it was known as one of the most famous battles in Victorian science. Spicy. But getting past all that drama, Richard Owen saw that the Natural History Departments needed more space, and in 1864 land was purchased in South Kensington. A competition was held to design a museum. The winner was civil engineer Captain Francis Fawke, who died shortly after. The planning for Fawke's scheme was taken over by Alfred Waterhouse, who revised the plan and added his own Romanesque style. The original plans had wings on either side, but this had to be scrapped due to the budget. The total cost came to about £330,000, which in today's money is 19.5 million. Work began on the building in 1873 and it was finished by 1880, with the new museum opening on the 18th of April 1881, although the full move from the old museum wasn't finished until 1883. The museum received both positive and negative reviews by the media upon its opening, but most viewed the museum as a positive contribution to society. It is now one of the UK's most popular tourist attractions, running a series of educational programs and promoting the protection and preservation of the planet and all the plants and animals. So yeah, it got off to a bit of a bumpy start. But at least there's no more drama, right? I will add that I love the Natural History Museum and I would recommend visiting. So thanks for watching and let me know where you want me to visit next. You know, it'd be really funny to put some fake mustaches in.
Ow.
This is really funny at the start. This isn't funny anymore. Okay, cool. I look like Flanders after he got his mustache ripped off.